Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Heravat. Let us start with Dr. Ranade. Dr. Ranade was the former Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University in Gujarat. He was an Anubhavi. He was a field experienced one. He was the follower of Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja tradition. Most of us don't know this Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja tradition, or also called as Nimbargi tradition. Dr. Ranade was attracted to the mystical poems composed by Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja. The name Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja does not indicate the qualities of Maharaja of a particular kingdom or empire. Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja was a king of spiritual kingdom. He was a Maharaja of spiritual kingdom, we can say like that. Those mystical poems were composed by Guru Linga Jangama Maharaja. Then Dr. Ranade got a Kannada book in the form of an anthology. It is entitled as Maharaja's Vachana. It was published at Bijapur in the year of 1908 by Babacharya Kalve. Some of the poems composed by Guru Linga Maharaja of Nimbargi were in it. Dr. Ranade, the former Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University, read them and carried away by the thought and feelings composed in those vachanas. He considered Nimbargi Maharaja as one of the best saints among the saints. Nimbargi tradition, which Guru Linga Jangama followed, would unify other religious thoughts and sects in Karnataka. Of course, Guru Linga Jangama was an elderly Veerashaiva and his disciples were elderly Brahmanas. Combined together would lead to spirituality. That is what Dr. Ranade thought at that time. Nimbargi is a remote village in the district of Bijapur in Karnataka, in the southern India. There, in that village, the Nimbargi tradition is bloomed and spread to other parts of the country as the Nimbargi tradition. Even today, that tradition is seen in that Nimbargi, in Karnataka, in Maharashtra, and some parts of Andhra, somewhere else in India. Guru Linga Jangama Maharaja's previous name was Narayan Rao. Whenever we use the word Guru Linga Jangama, automatically we think that he might be a Jangama. He might come from a caste Jangama family, but here it is otherwise. That Guru Linga Jangama Maharaja's previous name was Narayan Rao. He was born in his brother-in-law's house in Solapur. Nowadays Solapur is in Maharashtra. He was born in the AD of 1790. The Narayan Rao's family's occupation was weaving the cloths and etc. That means he was belonged to the weavers community. Of course, here we can think of Vachanakaras who were belonged to weavers community. For instance, Jedara Dasimaya. He came from weavers community and he became a famous Vachanakara in the later part of the 11th century and the first part of the 12th century AD. Once, for whatever reason, the father of Narayan Rao rebuked his son. So son got angry and left home for ever and ever. Then he went to Pandrapura and Siddhagiri in Maharashtra. Of course, Siddhagiri at that time was a spiritual center. It had changed the lives of so many saints, so many persons and saints. Of course, now it is also there in different forms, leading the people towards the sattvic life. There, in Siddhagiri area, that Narayan Rao met a Muni. He was Muppina Muni. That is, Narayan Rao came across Muppina Muni, and Muppina Muni consecrated Narayan Rao into Veerashaivism, and then onwards he called him as Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja. Of course, it changed the life of Narayan Rao. This tradition, that is the tradition followed by Muppina Muni, was an ancient one. It was belonged to the Guru tradition of Navanatha sect of Revana Siddha. Allama Prabhu met Goraksha of this sect and also consecrated him. Kada Siddha of Siddhagiri might have been the disciple of Revana Siddha, belonged to the Navanatha tradition. Mahaaraaja Siddha was the accompaniment of Revana Siddha. Any of these names are there. Sometimes these names are confused with the present day Peter and etc. etc. That is a different story. But of course there are many persons in the name of Revana Siddha, Mahaaraaja Siddha and etc. etc. Let it to the historians, religious historians, related to the religious tradition. But here, this much is sure that Muppina Muni was belonged to the Guru tradition of Navanatha sect by Revana Siddha. Muppina Muni consecrated Narayan Rao in the AD of 1825. Then onwards, Narayan Rao's name was changed as Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja. The Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja composed hundreds of vachanas in the name of Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraaja. He was also called as Nimbarigi Maharaja. Even today, that Nimbarigi tradition is continued. That Nimbarigi is a small village in the district of Vijayapur, and we can see the followers of Nimbarigi tradition here and there. As per Nimbarigi tradition, even a samsari, that is a married one, could attain a spiritual destiny. He might be belonged or he may be belonged to whatever sect, to whatever community, to whatever caste. Caste, community are not important there. There the spiritual attainment, the way to attain the spirituality is very important. If a person follows the Guru tradition, then he can attain spirituality in one way or another way. So, Dr. Ranade went through the vachanas. In the book he found those vachanas are very simple. But actually, they are vachanas in a different form. See, the vachanas, I would like to quote only two of vachanas due to the constraints of time. Guru guided me to Guru. How could I forget you? Guru guided me to Guru. How I could forget you? And you be here. Could anyone be more than a Guru? Oh, thou art thou to everybody. It has been translated into English by myself. The Kannada version is this. ಗುರು ತಾ ತೋರಿದ ಗುರುವಿನ ಮರೆತು ನಾನಿರಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ ಗುರುವಿನಿಂದ ಅಧಿಕ ಉಂಟೆ ಪರಕ್ಕೆ ಪರವಾದ ವಸ್ತು ಗುರು. Then another vachana is like this. Life not happened as one desired. Life not happened as one desired. It continued as Shiva willed. So fall at the feet of Guru Linga Jangama to lose your flaws. It has been translated into English from Kannada by myself. That Kannada version is this. ಜೀವದ ಇಚ್ಛೆಲೆ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಶಿವನ ಇಚ್ಛೆಲೆ ನಡೆಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗುರುಲಿಂಗ ಜಂಗಮನ ಪಾದಕ ವಂದಿ ದೋಷವ ಕಳಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಸಾಂಬ. These lines I just cited reveal the personality and spirituality of Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja. He used common and popular Kannada words and realized the words beyond the words. So, like this, Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja continued the tradition, continued the numeric tradition, also called Guru tradition. Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja lived for 95 years. He passed away in the age of 1885, leaving his footprints in the Nimbargi tradition. Of course, through his vachanas, he not only introduced Nimbargi tradition to the readers of vachanas, but he also told us to what extent Nimbargi tradition bloomed and spread in India. So when we read vachanas or when we go to different sects, definitely we cannot neglect the Nimbargi tradition, because that Nimbargi tradition is the combination of so many castes, so many communities. I have already told you, communities and castes are not important, but the humanity in a man is very important. It may be a Veerashaiva, it may be a Brahmana, it may be other community or other persons belong to other communities. There is no question of suppression, oppression and exploitation. Everyone is equal in the eyes of spirituality. Everyone should work according to his ability, and everyone should get according to his necessity. That is the Nimbargi tradition. We see even today that type of arrangements or that type of notion in that Nimbargi tradition. The followers of Nimbargi tradition even today followed it. That is, they work in the field according to their ability and they get according to their necessity. Even so many rowdies have become gentlemen when they go to that Nimbargi Mutt in Bijapur district. I can quote so many persons like this, but this Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja is one of them. Even today, he was lived in the later part of the 18th century and the first part of the 19th century. So, this Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja sheds a light on the spiritual aspect of the man. So that is what Ranade, the former Vice Chancellor of Allahabad University, said in his lectures. He introduced these mystic poets to the others to become a real human beings. So here we have to remember these persons and personalities, and then only we can ennoble the life of a man, and then only we can put a full stop to the pains and problems of a society. This is what we have to bear in our mind while reading the pieces of Guru Linga Jangama Mahaaraja. Subscribe and share it. See you in the next episode. Thank you.